Hey, this is Pastor Russ again. And I want to talk about one of our values as a church. You matter, and we'll prove it. Let me give you a little background on how we kind of come up with that and why we use it. The core of the message is to say, we love you. That's obvious to us who are in the church. But we have to say it, at least in the beginning, without saying it. Why is that? Love is a notion that people struggle with. Love is a word that's caused them great pain one way or another. And the bottom line is, people don't trust love. So 1 John says God is love. If they don't trust love, they don't trust God. So we want to be able to build a relationship with them, to close the gap between where they are and the love of God. And that means for us to be careful in how we lead them. How do we do it? 3 steps I'm going to share with you very quickly. These are not my opinion. They actually came out of some psychological, scientific discovery. And these 3 things right here make all the difference in the world to helping people feel valuable, and yourself too. Number 1 is courage. Everybody has to have courage to act upon. One of the things I see today is people lack the courage to walk up to somebody else and say hello. Or to give them a hug, if they're a hugger, shake their hand. To tell them, hey, I'm praying for you. It takes even more courage to be used in the gifts of the Spirit. To walk up to somebody and say, how can I help you today? What can I do for you? And be willing to back up whatever the need is. You may need a lunch. You may need a coat. Whatever. But you have to have the courage to do it. Timidity or fear will always destroy love. Number 2, vulnerability. That's right, being vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable in order to be able to help people discover this. And you say, but I don't trust people. I'm not going to be open. I'm not going to be vulnerable with them. Well, truth is, you're only cutting off your own blessing. Let me show you how it does, or how this works. You need empathy to be vulnerable. In other words, you have to be able to understand and connect with the emotions of the person that you're talking to. Now, can everybody understand everything about you or me all the time? No. But to care enough to, number 1, listen to so that they are understood, and to invest in that conversation to make them more important than what you've got to say, is how you do this. And it's putting yourself out there, and they may reject what you say, and that's fine. But there's going to be no connection unless you are able to be open enough to allow them to speak, and for you to care enough and have the courage to shut up and listen before you speak. The 3rd one is grace. That's right, amazing grace. You have to offer grace. What is grace? Well, grace from a theological point of view is God's acceptance of us because we are His creation. But most of the time, we think of grace from a performance position. People do A, B, C, D. We cut them some slack. Well, and especially for new people, new believers, people who never opened a Bible, they don't know anything about faith, this is going to be very difficult for them to be able to do. They don't know they don't understand, and they're growing. And we're investing in them. But that's required of us to give them acceptance wherever they are, to love them just as they are, and to forgive them for whatever they've done. And because I've said this before, oftentimes they will experience our forgiveness before they will ever experience God's forgiveness. So giving them grace helps them understand the love of God so that they go and receive the love of God. The challenge is that they do not believe that they themselves matter. So they're maybe confused about your investment of time and your caring attitude and emotion towards them. So whatever they say, whatever they do, don't be put off by it. If they throw up some resistance, don't be surprised. They don't trust love. So there's might be some walls that will come up, but they want to believe. They sincerely, down deep in their heart, want to believe. That'll require patience on your part to break through those walls, to get past those barriers in order to be able to invest in their heart. That's what we do when we say, you matter, and we'll prove it.